All right, here we go. 1 through 10 picks. Come on.
The first pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Fernando Mendoza, quarterback, Indiana.
Just like we drew it up, time for Welcome to Primetime, presented by Pfizer. You can see the reaction from Mendoza, his family. This is what we had anticipated. He's been outstanding in so many of his interviews throughout the course of this process. First Heisman Trophy winner that Indiana has had, leading that Hoosiers team to a national championship. And when it's all said and done, this is now the new face of the franchise, Bucky. And look, there's still a lot of positives here around what his game can bring.
Yeah, a lot of positives about what he can bring in. Look, we talk about the quarterback position in so many different things. A lot of times, coaches will tell you accuracy, decision making. But the other part that they leave out is toughness. And one thing that we've seen from Fernando Mendoza is a level of toughness that your franchise quarterback must exhibit. When you talk about being the franchise quarterback, it's about grabbing the ball each and every week, showing up for your team. And he is showing the ability to take some wicked shots and deliver. In fact, some of his best moments have come after those big hits. You can't question his courage. You can't question his arm talent and his ability. Now it's about putting together and surrounding with the right things. But if you're a Raiders fan, you should be excited about the quarterback that you have.
You know, Bucky made a great point. His toughness is one of the things that really stands out for me. And I go back to 2024. He got the brakes beaten off of him at Cal. And usually, a lot of quarterbacks will start seeing ghosts. They speed up their process. The internal clock gets messed up. You know, we see it sometime in the NFL. He didn't let that happen to him.
With the second pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select David Bailey, linebacker, Texas Tech.
So we have discussed this on Mock Draft Live over the last month. Would it be Bailey? Would it be Reese? And the Jets going with the guy that most of our experts, including both you, Bucky, and Lance, have said, hey, the most ready right now of the edge players. Tied for the FBS lead, 14.5 sacks. Dude's a game record.
Yeah, he's a game record. The reason why this decision was easy for the Jets because you're going for the polished player. When you're the New York Jets and you need someone to get home, there are not many that are better than this guy. When you look at David Bailey, speed, power, explosiveness. You talk about his fastball, that first step, get off that dip and rip move that he shows. Yep. He wins time and time again. But he also is crafty when he works inside. The thing that I like about him and some of these other guys, the motor, the relentless competitive spirit that he displays, he has an opportunity to be a game breaker. I know people talk about the run defense, but this game is about knocking down the quarterback. Few that do it as good as him.
He's got some really, so his get off is great in phase one. What really impresses me is phase two because his reaction to whatever pass set he sees is outstanding. Those are natural rush instincts he has. So if he sees you overset, he can correct very quickly with a spin move. If he sees you're a little bit late on your second slide, he hits the gas and is going to turn the corner, bend on you, and burn the edge. So he's really good at really instinctively finding the best ways to get into the pocket. And as Bucky mentioned, he is a high motor player. He's also kind of a throwback, right? There's no gloves, there's no pads, there's nothing on the wrist, no bands that like.
We're the third pick in the 2026.
Look at all these delusional ass niggas.
Gloves, there's no pads, there's no.
Look at all these delusional ass niggas. Look at them. Look at all these delusional ass niggas. Mental health is a strong thing, man. Mental health is a strong thing, man. Gotta get it checked out. You gotta get it checked out. Mental health is a strong thing, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mental health is a strong thing. I hope they find peace within themselves. I hope they find peace.
Nothing on the wrist, no bands that like.
We're the third pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Jeremiah Love, running back, Notre Dame.
Depending on who you talk to, they'll tell you that Jeremiah Love is the best player in this class. Certainly one of the most dynamic offensive players, if not the most dynamic offensive player. Guys, I know I got a Heisman vote. There was a point, and he did finish in my top three, but I wanted so badly midway through the season. I'm like, this is the guy. It ended up going, obviously, to Fernando, my vote at least. But the Cardinals, they have so many needs here. What do they get with Jeremiah?
Special player, terrific with the ball in his hands. He can do it as a runner inside and outside. He can catch the ball on the perimeter. He can take it a distance from anywhere on the field. Look, going all the way back to my time scouting, Reggie Bush was the running back that I gave the highest grade to. This guy's right there neck and neck. Oh. The things that he is able to do, that lateral jump cut that he shows, how loose and explosive he is, what he consistently does in terms of make you miss. Oh, how many times can we see him jump and hurl over people?
Exactly.
This is what he does.
Four on this video.
All the time, catching the ball out the backfield. We just talk about the guys that have traditionally been taken in the top 10. Saquon Barkley, CMC, Bijan Robinson. There haven't been many running backs to miss, and he's going to be another one.
Hey, Jaheim, I will fuck you so good with a pink dildo.
Because he's a can't-miss prospect at a position.
He's somebody during the process that I've begun to like more and more. I'm watching the first time I watch him, he's kind of running up on his running backs, not running on his blockers. He's not running with a lot of tempo and pace, and you start nitpicking. And then going through this process and watching some of the exos and the videos that we put together, and you say, oh, wow, he did that? Oh, wow. Like, you get a little different view on those cameras than you do on all 22, and you start to recognize how loose and limber and how rare he is with his, the way he makes you miss is he's explosive in making you miss as well. And I didn't know that was even possible for you to be explosive in your elusiveness, and yet that's what he is. You know, what he is, Mike, is he's a home run hitter with power.
With the 4th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Carnell Tate, wide receiver, Ohio State.
Is he really better than Jordan Tyson?
Yo, Bucky, you were touting your mock draft. You said you're 2 for 2. Did you have Love at 3? Okay, did you have Tate at 4?
Well, it depends, because I had 2 different mock drafts, but I did not have Carnell Tate at 4. However, this is interesting, right? It's an interesting pick because there was conversation the entire time about him being the weapon that the Tennessee Titans need. Have a number 1 receiver that can grow with Cam Ward. And you just wonder, I wondered about Carnell Tate in terms of, like, he's as polished as they come. Outstanding route runner, big time, acrobatic pass catcher, hand-eye coordination is off the charts. The polish on the routes, fantastic. He made a ton of plays and got better and better over time. And I know I saw the comp down there, Chris Olave, but when I see him, I see that 17, and I think about Devontae Adams in terms of the way Devontae Adams ran, and you think about that 4.5 40 time. He just runs by a lot of people on tape.
Yeah.
Outstanding playmaker, pass catcher. He can do it as a 3-level playmaker, short, intermediate, and deep. Tennessee Titans are getting it going.
You know, I think too much was made of the 40 time initially after the combine. Ultimately, when you watch his tape, yes, he plays next to a monster in Jeremiah Smith. I mean, he plays next to an absolute monster that we're going to talk about, you know, in the draft coming soon. But Carnell Tate, even though he's a wide receiver too, he doesn't drop the ball. He's got great hands. He runs great routes. He has complete body control, not only through his routes, but also when the ball's in the air. So he's a very reliable target. He's someone that you want to give Cam Ward, someone that he can grow with. And the same way Aaron Rodgers had Devontae Adams, and they became close on and off the field. You want that same thing developing with your young quarterback and one of his top receivers. And I think, you know, that's what you want out of Carnell Tate. Listen, wide receivers from Ohio State, they translate.
In partnership with the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, TAPS, one of the NFL's Salute to Service partners, we are honored to recognize the surviving family of the United States.
Now the draft gets real. Now it gets real. When I got the first 4 out of the way, everybody expected. Now this is where it gets real.
Army Major Paul C. Volke. Major Volke sustained tragic fatal injuries while deployed in Afghanistan. He is survived by his spouse, Tracy, and their 2 sons, Andrew and Benjamin. Major Volke was raised in the Hudson Valley and was a lifelong fan.
You know, sorry for your loss. Hope you get better. Wishes to you. Get the fuck on, man. Not the time to be doing all this. Just announce the pick.
Overall pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Football Giants select Arvell.
The New York Football Giants.
Arvell Reese, linebacker from the Ohio State University.
So many of the mock drafts on NFL.com had him going to New York. It was just the other team, the Jets. Instead, he is now a member of the Giants, filling a potential need on that defense as well. But you guys have been telling me on Mock Draft Live, upside, upside, upside for this player.
He's my top-rated player on the board, but it's based on projection, but I like my chances with his projection. He's got length, he's got speed, he's got versatility, he's got a lot of what you need to become a really good NFL player and a really impactful NFL player. He can play off-ball linebacker. It'll be interesting to see if the Giants have him do that some. His instincts, I think, are average right now, but he's got the ability to use his athletic ability to play past his instincts. You see this. He's already got some knockback pop. You saw him with a little dip and run there as a pass rusher. He doesn't even really know how to rush yet, and he can still go get the quarterback. And Bucky, what I really like is you can set him loose in a lot of different alignments defensively.
With the 6th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Mansour Delane, defensive back, LSU.
I gotta stop sleeping on Mansour Delane.
Time for Power Moves presented by Energizer Delane, the 6th total player from LSU the Chiefs have drafted in any round since 1990. All 6 of those have been, though, in the first round. Delane clearly fitting a need because we've talked about the secondary. Trent McDuffie now rocking a Rams uniform. They clearly love this dude enough to move up a couple selections ago.
Number 3 player on the board for me, the entire board, and maybe the most impressive player I saw. He and David Bailey on tape all year. I absolutely loved his tape. I could not stop raving about him to texting different people around the league who, like, have you seen, what did you think of him? You know, he is so sticky in coverage. coverage, his man-to-man coverage. He played with a level of confidence, and I think it stems from his ability to change direction quickly. He's got top-rate speed, as we saw at his pro day, so he knows he can play vertically. But he will sit on routes. He's got great anticipation. He's got good ball skills. He has shorter arms, under 31 inches. But Bucky, the thing that I really like about him is you can stick him in zone, and he's got ball skills. You can play him man-to-man, and he can either press or play off-man coverage. Clearly, Kansas City moved up with the idea that we can either get Delane or we can get Reese, but we'll take either one of them. We know that we've got a guy that we really want. I had him mocked to the Chiefs at 9, I believe in my last mock, and this is a big need for them. They just lost 2 corners.
It is rare to find a corner that can do it all. His toolbox is completely full. Whether we play off, play.
Hey, just know, Delane, after your rookie contract, you're not getting paid from them. You're not getting paid. So enjoy while you can. Try to get a ring out of it. Because after your rookie contract, you're not getting paid. They finna ship your ass like they did the last 2.
Play up, we play man, we play zone. We want to play inside, play outside. You want to blitz him. He can do all of the things.
With the 7th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Sonny Styles, linebacker, Ohio State.
The linebacker leading a national championship team with 82 tackles. You go back to the combine, among the linebackers, fastest 40. Best vert, longest broad jump, and it seems like, Bucky, your intel was spot on this guy.
No, this is what they did. Had obvious need, right? Bobby Wagner near the end of the run. You have Dan Quinn, who's looking at Sonny Styles and the athleticism and all the things that he brings to the table. He's excited about it. And when we think about him, I made a comparison, a mix of Fred Warner and Kyle Hamilton in terms of a guy that can play the safety, move down the linebacker, and just be a freak athlete in the middle of that defense. When you look at the Washington Commanders, man, they need some sizzle inside. Somebody that can make some plays, and Sonny Styles certainly can provide that. There you see him coming downhill, making play after play, getting off blocks, getting to the ball, being able just to be a menace at the second level. Sonny Styles has a lot of tools that you want in a new school defense. Just being able to move around and do some different things. Dan Quinn now can get creative with the scheme.
Yeah, I think he's just scratching the surface too, because he's moved from safety to linebacker. When you watch him on tape, you don't always feel like you're getting everything that he has, but I think that also comes with still learning the position and learning to unlock the entire toolbox. I mean, it's like a cake, right? You got all the ingredients on the table. You just want to bake it with him, because once those ingredients get added together and matched together, you've got a 3-down menace in Sonny Styles. And this is a guy with traits. He's got explosiveness athletically, and then he's got the ability to mismatch you on 3rd downs. It's always nice to have a player that you can match up on F tight ends that are, the Travis Kelce's of the world, or Trey McBride's. Now all of a sudden, or Kenyan Sadiq's coming up. We're going to stick a former safety on these guys, and we're going to slow them down.
With the 8th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, Arizona State.
So this
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Saints taking the wide receiver, Jordan Tyson out of ASU. This is a guy who is well thought of. The comp, Bucky, that you gave us on Mock Draft Live was JSN, but injury concerns, I think, loom for this player.
Yeah, injury concerns are a major concern, because 18 games he's missed during his college career. That's a lot of time that's off. However, if he makes it to the field, he has a problem. Because when you talk about number 1 wide receivers, he's as natural as come as a number 1 wide receiver. This is a guy that can run every route in the book. He does it effortlessly in terms of consistently creating separation. He has all those things. He can stair step, he can stutter, he can make plays down the field, he can catch the underneath ball. He has terrific hands in terms of watching his acrobatic ball skills, hand-eye coordination. It is easy for Jordan Tyson off the edges. If healthy, we're talking about someone very similar to JSN in terms of the impact that he'll make on the perimeter.
Supernatural. I talked to Hines Ward about him when I was writing on my profile. I want to get a background. And he said he can play all 3 positions. Yep. So he's got that versatility, which coaches love. The guy who can play all 3 positions. He's very smart in terms of understanding the playbook. Great body control, as Bucky mentioned, the ability to win the high point. What I love is he's a catch space hog. Like, when it's time to go own the catch space, he's going to hog it up. The workspace is his. He's going to make that catch. Hines talked about having him learn how to tempo his routes. Little things that I think a guy like Hines Ward could really help him with, and that's what he was able to do. This is a great moment right here. And Hines talked about this is the kind of passion he has. He showed up early. When Hines said, I need you here at 6 o'clock, he was there at 5:55 to go watch you. He was there waiting to go get the work in. Stayed late to get the work in. He does the work, and it shows up on the field.
With the 9th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Spencer Fano, tackle, Utah.
Oh, I love it.
Get fired up. This feels like an important pick from a Cleveland perspective. A whole lot of holes on this roster. They trade back with the Kansas City Chiefs, who moved up to the 6th selection. They get a 3rd round and a 5th round pick. So right now, Lance, 11 total selections, or now 10 after this one.
Yeah, and so I've learned something. So when you evaluate talent, you try to sharpen your process. And something I learned from Bucky Brooks, listening to him, is there's always little pieces you tie together. You tie different things together. You got to follow the little information points. Tom Telesco, formerly of the Chargers, is consulting with the Browns. He's very familiar with left tackle. Who's there right now? Starting left tackle. I'm blanking out.
Oh, for the Browns?
Yeah, no, for the Chargers.
Rashawn Slater.
Yeah, Rashawn Slater. Slater, shorter arm player, right? And so I'm worried. I'm sitting there thinking, well, Spencer Fano's got sub 33-inch arms. But Telesco's already seen it work with shorter arm guys, so they're going to bump him to the left side.
Big time pick for the Browns.
With the 10th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Francis Mauigoa, tackle, Miami.
Art, if you're a Giants fan, you know it has been a revolving door on that offensive line. If you came into this draft thinking, hey, what direction could the G-men go? A slew of help in the secondary, maybe some help in the defense with the 5th overall selection. Arvell Reese was that guy. On our mock draft lives, both you guys at times had a wide receiver, Jordan Tyson being there, but he got taken off the board. Instead, they go with a big body up front.
Love this, don't you, Bucky? I mean, you always talk about the hog mollies.
Yeah, look, you talk about Francis Mauigoa being able to come over. And this is what's interesting about him. Is he a right tackle? Do they move him into right guard? Because Jermaine Illuminor is on the side. Or can Jermaine go inside? Regardless, to me, this is a meat and potatoes draft right now for the New York Giants. All the sizzle that we talked about, they bypassed that. They took a defensive player that can affect the line of scrimmage. And I had one of my buddies tell me, think Michael Parsons for them in New York. And then Francis Mauigoa being able to road grade, maul and mash. Now trying to create some space for Scatterboo while also protecting your guy, Jackson Dart.
Look, Jackson Dart has taken off. I think there's some concerns about him taking a whole lot of hits, and they want him in the pocket. In some ways, too, Lance, and you know this, I mean, both of these selections feel Harbaugh-esque.
They got really good. They got probably their top players on the board at maybe both positions. I mean, I don't know that for a fact. I do know that Mauigoa is probably their top guard or tackle. They do have a spot at right guard where he could slide in and play right away. As Bucky mentioned, Jermaine Illuminor also has some guard experience. They'll figure that out. Just go get a good football player. It's the same thing with Arvell Reese. Get a good football player and we'll figure it out. You go draft good football players, and Francis Mauigoa is a really good football player. I think has a chance to be a Pro Bowl guard. I like him more as a guard than tackle, to be honest with
you. Okay.
In the 2026 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Caleb Downs, defensive back, Ohio State.
You know, a lot of times in the evaluation process, you guys have conversations with different folks. You get eyes on the tape. You write up your reports here. I don't know if I heard or read many negative things about Caleb Downs. I mean, the amount of praise that this safety has gotten, Bucky, is pretty tremendous. So you can understand why the Dallas Cowboys decided to move up to go and grab him.
Okay, so what I love about this is, in this process, which is really a beauty pageant, at some point you got to take really good football players. And Caleb Downs is an outstanding football player. And I contend that he was the best football player that Ohio State had on their squad. High IQ player, versatile in terms of being able to do anything you want to see the safety do. Patrol in the middle, making plays, coming downhill, delivering the big hit. He can do all of those things. But it's also his ability to come down and be a run stopper, line everybody up and do those things. And I think it has been underestimated and not discussed enough. This guy was the defensive quarterback of a defense in Alabama that Nick Saban handpicked him as a freshman and gave him the keys. Then he goes to Ohio State. Matt Patricia, who's been an NFL defense coordinator, head coach, puts it all on him. I am telling you, he is going to be a much better pro than people have talked about because he's an instinctive player who is always around the action.
He's a high football IQ player. Bucky mentioned Nick Saban and Matt Patricia. That's, those are great to learn from. For one guy to handpick you, for the next guy to help mold you and shape you. I think he can, a big trend right now in the NFL is the third safety. So the big nickel role. And Caleb Downs played that, the star role, whatever you want to call it in college, the overhang position. He can play some split safety, but he can also play around the line of scrimmage like Jalen Petrie for the Texans to just smack people. And this is also, that Dallas defense has gotten really soft.
With the 12th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Kaden Proctor, tackle, Alabama.
Kaden Proctor, big man goes before many people thought. Look, he was a bit of a polarizing player on the media side because people wanted to know, like, man, where's he going to go? He was a 5-star recruit. People talked about him. Didn't necessarily play up to the hype consistently as a collegian. But then you see him move around. You see him at the combine. You see him move around in his pro day work. You see all the things that he brings. Massive man. They talk about 6'6", 352. But we know for a fact that he played heavier than that. And the issue that you saw on tape was when he was heavier than that measurement. But there are a lot of things to like about him. He can anchor versus power. He has strong hands. He's sturdy. He's stout at the point of attack. He can move the body, move the furniture in the run game, which you want to see as a left tackle. And when we talk about the physicality and toughness, he has all of that. And really good athlete. Because I know this. You don't like to get those big guys in space much, and you definitely, when you're a defender, don't like to see him. He mauls and mashes people. And if you don't like him blocking, give it to the big fella. Let the big fella get the bubble screen and go out there. And he almost found his way to the paint. They do the Wildcat stuff with him. Tremendous athlete. It's a good one, man. If he gets it worked out technically, this guy has all-pro caliber talent.
I'm curious to see where he plays because Patrick Paul is on the left tackle spot. You've got Austin Jackson, the right tackle. Now, I'm not necessarily saying he might not take one of those jobs, but they got a wide open. Jonah Savaianea, who was a second rounder last year, is sitting at left guard, and at right guard is Jamari Sawyer.
With the 13th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Ty Simpson, quarterback, Alabama.
Told us.
Yeah.
I can see why. I can see why. I can see why. This might be what's the name last year, and he gets the chance to learn under a great Georgia quarterback. Yeah. Yo, Alabama ass gonna sit behind a great Georgia quarterback and learn, nigga. Yeah. Like this.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson, the selection, the Matthew Stafford's heir apparent now in round number 1, 13th overall pick. Guys, we talked about this on Mock Draft Live. I don't know how many times we ended the show, and I said, hey, a possibility for a team to come into the first round and draft Ty Simpson. You guys said it was a possibility. It turns out no one had to move up. The Rams just took him.
Well, I mean, look, here's the thing. Before we talk about where he was taken, we talked about the team that was best for him. And all of us had agreed consensus that Sean McVay would be the best
Mock
person
1.0
to get him.
Remember when they had the pick over 29?
We've said
that was the Ty Simpson spot, was 29 to the Rams before they traded it.
And so we talked about that. They make the move. They wanted to get the quarterback and those things. Now, I've said this about Ty Simpson. Footwork is as clean as it comes. Yes. If you had a youth football quarterback that you want to watch Ty Simpson in terms of the mechanics and those things. The thing that you worry about is size, inexperience, and overall arm talent. Is he big enough to withstand the pounding? Does he have the experience necessary to play at a high level? We'll say no, but we'll see. Now, he'll have an opportunity to sit behind Matthew Stafford and get his chance. We'll see what it looks like.
So the things we pick at are things that are normal for a 15-game starter. And if he were going back to school, you'd say, man, this guy's a Heisman Trophy frontrunner next year. He's going to get a lot better. When you watch tape the first half of the year, he's got a chance to be the first pick of the draft. When you watch tape the first half of the year, he was outstanding. Like 21-1 was his touchdown interception ratio. His game against Missouri that we spotlighted there was some of the best tape that you'll see for a quarterback all year long. But as Bucky mentioned, the injury nagging injury started to pile up and get him. Defenses started to figure him out a little bit. And he started having issues that, a one-year starter typically has.
With the 14th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Olai Bavenga Yowane, guard, Penn State.
Don't play with this one, Mike. Just run the card up. Look, we're just running the card up. I mean, I plugged him in at least 3 times in the mock draft, 2 or 3 times to the Ravens. Everyone's got him to the Ravens. Bucky, I'm sure you got him to the Ravens.
Talked about him
This guy was built to be a Raven. So he lost a little weight, slimmed down this offseason. I thought he looked quicker. He got some blocks better, some of his landmarks better. As a run blocker, he is a finisher. He sets a tone. It's not just about making hard first contact. It's about finishing the block. And every one of these blocks that you'll see, he's going to finish his blocks. He can get on the move, and this is why he lost a little weight. He wanted to be more impactful and have better range as a run blocker, and that's something he absolutely did. There are some holes in pass pro that he's got to tighten up. Most guards have that. But when you want someone to help keep that running game sharp, keep the running game tight, it's not always a sexy pick to have a guard, but man, are the building blocks important. He's a building block pick.
I'm going to say this. He was my highest rated offensive lineman. Yeah. I loved him more than anybody else because I thought at his position, he dominated the game unlike the other guys at their position. When you watch him play, there's a level of violence and physicality to his game that you know is going to translate well to the National Football League. This guy can do it all. I mean, I'm not saying that he's flawless, but he's darn near perfect when it comes to it. And I know we get into this thing about positional value, but if we're talking about best football players, which is traditionally what the Baltimore Ravens do, you can be hard-pressed to find a better football player than Bavenga in this draft.
With the 15th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Rueben Bane Jr., linebacker, Miami.
I'm surprised Rueben fell this like, damn. Niggas was saying he was a top 3 pick. He fell this, wow.
All right, there's been a lot of conversation about arm length with Rueben Bane, sub 31-inch arms at the combine. Actually, Kelechi Kancey, one of his now new teammates, also in that neighborhood in terms of range with those arms back in 2023. But Lance, you turned to me and you said you'd be shocked if Bane isn't selected.
It was a big need for him, and Rueben Bane is a Todd Bowles kind of player. Jason Light's going to love him. He is a roughneck. Got to get a roughneck. Remember that, Buck?
Yes.
This is a very rugged player. When he turns the corner, you'll notice once he gets the edge on any of these blockers, it's a wrap because he's so powerful on his lower body. He's got very violent hands. He can reduce inside and rush inside using his blend of quickness and power to overcome guards. And as I mentioned, it's about being a two-way player too. A lot of times we get enamored with pass rush. What about stopping the run? He is a bona fide run stopper. So this is a really good pickup. Look, the arm length thing though, Bucky, when you get to NFL teams, I know fans like to say it doesn't matter, but I talked to a couple GMs who talked about the historical norms of never having a defensive end inside the top 10 picks with arms that short who ever became a Pro Bowl type player. And so it matters to teams.
It does matter to teams. And that's why you have all these historical data to make sure you measure up in what typically plays. Here's what I say also plays. Sometimes you just want to tell a guy that can just whoop people's tail.
So nobody didn't want to like try to draft him early, and he fell because of his arm length. Oh my God. Technical as Wow.
At the point of attack. And when I look at Rueben Bane, that's what he did. Because in the playoffs, he issued a lot of tail kickings to those guys on the opposite side of it.
With the 16th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Kenyan Sadiq, tight end, Oregon.
So the tight end coming out of Oregon, if you like explosive playmakers, look no further than this Oregon Duck. And if you like the measurables, his combine was really impressive. Fastest 40 by a tight end since 2003. Second among tight ends in terms of the bench press, second broad jump, second vertical. And I think, Buck, you made reference to this on one of the mock draft lives. We don't give him enough credit for what he does as a blocker.
No, he is a problem. He is a headache. Man, if I was a defense coordinator having to defend this kind of guy, he is everything in terms of yak, explosiveness, being able to catch the ball in the perimeter, run through, run around, make plays happen. He's a mismatch creator, and he exploits those mismatches because, look, he's too big, fast, and physical for DBs. He is too fast for linebackers. He makes plays right down the middle of the field. And if you're thinking about the Jets and why they would go with this move as opposed to another receiver, last year, you took Jason Taylor's son, Mason Taylor. Yeah. You now have Kenyan Sadiq. You have 12 personnel. You have Garrett Wilson on the outside. You have the ability to run the football effectively out of multiple tight end sets. This sets them up for success. And remember, the craze last year was 13 personnel, 3 tight ends on the field for big plays. Frank Wright using the big body tight ends, trying to create some mismatches. He can be the guy that is listed as tight end, but in those heavy sets, he is actually your Z.
Listen, he's clearly the best tight end and is not even comparable in this draft. Makai Lemon is a wide receiver who's still on the board. You've still got 3 more picks to go before you're even done with the second round. You can go get a wide receiver. You can't go get another Kenyan Sadiq. So I love this pickup. It makes them more versatile. He's also a great route runner. He's got a robust route tree he can run. He is just he's a versatile move tight end.
Yeah.
With the 17th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Blake Miller, tackle, Clemson.
Well done, Houston and Detroit Lions. Going with Blake Miller, his name has popped up a whole lot on Mock Draft Live. I don't know how many of us would have had him going 17th to the Detroit Lions, but this is a guy, 54, career starts, 54.
Detroit drafted another lineman? Damn.
53 of them at right tackle, 1 at left tackle.
Yeah, so right position, wrong player. But Blake Miller is he started, as you mentioned, he's the most experienced tackle in the entire NFL draft. He's got long arms. He is a very athletic player who can get out in space. He's not a great bender, tends to play upright, so you think he's not going to be able to really move as well as he actually does. He's saucy too. Now he's got a little nasty to him, and I think that's something that Dan Campbell probably loved when they were interviewing him, talking to him. Brad Holmes as well probably saw he's got some of that, Rob Havenstein nastiness to him that Brad Holmes saw when he was in Los Angeles before he came over to the Lions. So he's got attitude, he's got length, he's got some quickness, pretty good pass protector. I think the upside is a little bit capped for him, but what I think is interesting here, Bucky, is they had talked about moving Penei Sewell to the left side. I thought, okay, they'll draft Monroe Freeling, he'll play left, and they'll keep Penei Sewell on the right side. But now I think they'll leave Penei Sewell, the super hyper athletic all-pro tackle. I think they'll swing him left, let him stay there, and keep Blake Miller on the right side. I guess that's what they'll probably do.
With the 18th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Caleb Banks, defensive end, Florida.
All right, so sometimes you go through these mock drafts, and we did a whole lot of that. Caleb Banks' name, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think
early in the process we did, but then as we're prone to do sometimes with these things, we get out of pocket and the buzz kind of cools on him. But coming out of the Senior Bowl, there was a lot of conversation about him, his size, his ability to be destructive at the point of attack. When I look at my notes, violent, heavy hands, arm over, nimble feet, disruptive, versatile, can play the 1, the 3, and the 5 technique. When you watch him, particularly back in 2024, I wrote the tape was great in 2024. Snatch and jerk, good technician, played with great effort. The injuries limited him to 4 games. It's a boom or bust pick people are talking about. But you don't see guys at 6'6", 350 pounds that can play outside. To me, very similar to the vibes I get when I saw Chris Jones coming out of Mississippi State.
Oh, here we go.
If he plays, this dude is a handful for people at the point of attack.
So my problem is, I think it's a reach, and I'm going to tell you why. Not because of the player, but because they drafted a huge need. They have a huge need at defensive tackle. They drafted a defensive tackle here, but he's got a broken foot right now that's still healing, and it's supposed to heal sometime in the summer. But this has been an ongoing issue. He's had an issue with staying healthy, and it feels like now his upside is immense. He's the most talented defensive tackle, and he can get after you as a pass rusher too. So everything Bucky said is right. All the Chris Jones stuff, he shows flashes of it, but staying healthy is a big concern right now.
With the 19th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Monroe Freeling, tackle, Georgia.
You know, one thing you can't teach is size. 6'7", 315. He's not small, Buck.
He's not small. I'm looking at the tombstone. Mom is a yoga instructor. I don't know how they got in there. Okay, so his ability to bend and do those things. Mom helping out. When you look at the balance, when you look at the balance and bike.
That was you at 6 a.m. today. I know that.
That's me today. I dig it. The movement. Here's the thing about Monroe Freeling. Didn't play a lot. Talking about 17, 18 starts. Still trying to figure it out. But when you see the athleticism, you see the traits that he exhibits. To me, the Carolina Panthers are a nice situation because they're sitting here looking at Ike Ekwonu and wondering if he can come back and if he can be the player that they want him to be. Well, now you take Monroe Freeling, and whether he starts or not, going forward, you have a guy that can be a starter.
I see you.
Little triangle. That's nothing. Little triangle. Look, that's straight.
Warm up, isn't it?
Yeah, now we in there. That's nice. No blocks. Look at my big man.
Are you a block guy? I don't. Yes.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with blocks. Everyone needs a little support.
Triangle. That's that move that we just saw.
That's the move. He was in triangle.
Okay.
Yeah, well, come with me. I'll take you. I'll get you.
You go too early in the morning, man. You go too early for me.
With the 20th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Makai Lemon, wide receiver, USC.
Well, that confirms it. A.J. Brown getting traded. That confirms it.
Okay.
Another wide receiver now off the board. 11 years after the Eagles took another SC wide receiver, Nelson Aguilar, with the same exact pick, 20th overall. It is Malachi Lemon heading to the city of brotherly love.
I'm a big fan of Malachi Lemon. My grade on him is much higher than where he was taken. I know there's a question about, he didn't do any of the workouts other than he ran at his pro day, didn't do any of the athletic workouts. I know some teams were not exactly thrilled with that. I think it's all on tape, who he is and what he is. Super, super competitive. He's got that competitiveness that I used to see from Hines Ward in Pittsburgh. I think he's deadly from the slot. This game against Iowa, best wide receiver game by far this year for anyone on tape. He made highlight reel catch after highlight reel catch. Right here, look at the route running. Turn you, and burn you. And it's just, it's all the time. And as you see, fearless in the middle of the field. He has no regard for the footsteps. He doesn't hear the footsteps. And when he goes up, he's got really strong hands to make those contested catches. So he's one of those guys that, Bucky, quarterbacks just trust him. They'll just implicitly trust it. If I throw it near him, he's probably going to turn it into a 65, 35, 70, 30 ball.
He's going to do his number one slot receiver that I had on the board. When I look at the notes, it's natural hands pass.
Juju, where the energy like last draft?
Just really nice in that. Explosive,
Nigga,
quick,
you don't
burst,
see
stop,
we've been
start, quickness,
streaming
does
for
that. Like
14
Lance
hours?
alluded to. Courage over the middle of the field. He's going to make the play. It doesn't matter who's in there. He's going to get it. I love it. And the versatility. Played flanker, played slot. We think about the Eagles' offense and how you want to move and create opportunities for your best players. His versatility, being able to play outside and inside, is going to help this offense move forward.
The last time I introduced the Steelers' first-round pick, I was fortunate to introduce T.J. Watt. And with the 21st pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Max Iheanachor, tackle, Arizona State.
So 32 games played, 31 starts for him at ASU,
Yep,
30 of those coming at right tackle, 1 at left tackle.
And I did.
Just started playing the game. I mean, he was late to the game, former soccer player.
And
This
you
is a
got
pick
14
about,
hours out of me.
it's a little bit of a dangerous pick. It's a buyer beware, but high ceiling, little lower floor. And it's just about how you develop him. That's really what it's about. Former basketball player, played some soccer. He's got excellent core strength. He's really, really nasty. You saw the flashes at the Senior Bowl that made you say, okay, I'm in on Max Iheanachor. He's still a little bit raw. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done. Like I said, it's about getting the right offensive line coach and the right development plan for him. But his talent, like he's got left and right tackle talent. You'll see some of these Senior Bowl one-on-ones. He was really, really good. And he's got a little funk after every single rep, Bucky. He just wanted to let you know that I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to get the last little lick on you.
Okay, so you guys know I coach high school ball in LA in the city section. He's a city section product. He played basketball at Kings Drew. They didn't have a football team. Makes his way to junior college and finds his way to the football field and has success at Arizona State. You talk about the best ball ahead of him. That's what it is with Max Iheanachor. You talk about the size, the athleticism, all those traits that you look for. It's not a finished product now, and that's why in Pittsburgh, you have to exhibit a little patience as he develops. But all the traits are there for him to be a good one. It's just going to happen in time.
Buck, I can see him on the block. What I can't see is him as like a sweeper in soccer.
Yeah, I did that. I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to slide tackle my man if he's coming down there with the ball one-on-one. But I would love to see him bicycle kicked up.
In the 2026 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Akheem Mesidor, linebacker, Miami.
Lance, you just turned to me. You said, I love this pick. Keep in mind, I'm looking at your write-up, 25 before the draft. A little bit on the older side.
Yeah, a little bit on the older side, and he gets to learn behind Khalil Mack. But let me tell you, he plays like his hair is on fire. He was 280 pounds last year, played 3 technique. So he just did whatever he needed to do. Guess what he did? He slimmed down, and yet he's still a very difficult guy to handle both inside and outside. So he'll still rush inside. He's got great rush outside. He's got very, very clean hands. So his hand fighting is quick and efficient. There's not a lot of wasted motion. You'll see that on every one of his reps. He's got violent hands, but they're also fast and sudden. He's got the ability to bend and trim the edge and get to the quarterback very, very quickly. And then his ability as an interior rusher, I think, is what sets him apart because he just knows how to get slippery in the gaps, and he is a nightmare for guards. Just a real mismatch problem. Not all outside rushers who come inside, Bucky, can turn it loose as an interior rusher. You got to have a little toughness, and you got to have some know-how for how to be slippery around those long arm guards and those big wide bodies.
He's another one. We talked about Rueben Bane earlier and how the playoffs really elevated their stock. I think the same thing happened for Akheem Mesidor. When you watched him play throughout the playoffs, he dominated at the point of attack. It was one wreck, the other destroys. His versatility, being able to rush from outside and inside, is problematic. And you think he now gets an opportunity to sit and learn with Khalil Mack.
With the 23rd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Malachi Lawrence, defensive end, University of Central Florida.
So this is a name for both of you guys that you had in the first round. Do we like this pick for Dallas?
Yeah, I do.
Do you like it enough to put a Dallas Cowboys hat on?
Oh, wow. I don't.
Okay.
There's not a pick they could make there. I'd be putting that hat on again. But I'll say this, man. He was a fast riser. Malachi Lawrence gets off the ball. He is a really explosive tester. He's got good length. But I told the story the other day when I was watching him and charting him. I put a piece of paper down and I started saying, okay, dip and rip. He had a club move, inside spin counter. I got to 5 different moves in one game. It is clear that he has put a lot of work in the offseason into filling out his bag with multiple counters, multiple go-to moves. He's just worked at his craft. And when you see him at the top of the rush, he's got a lot of different ways to get past the tackle. And there it is.
There we go. You did like it.
There it is. I guess I like the pick.
So now this is what's
You love it.
This is what's interesting. So I would say the football world finally became acquainted with Malachi Lawrence at the NFL scouting combine.
Yeah.
We had an opportunity to see him for a while at East West Shrine. Yeah. However, there wasn't a lot of buzz and conversation about his performance at that game, like during practices and those things. Like not a lot of conversation that we had, even when we met with the coaches. Yeah. So the thing that
no one was
talking about. So that's the thing that I would say maybe would give you a little pause. But remember,
With the 24th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select KC Concepcion, wide receiver, Texas A&M.
So Concepcion becomes just the second wide receiver at Texas A&M to be selected in the first round in the Common Draft era. The other one is a pretty good one, a future Hall of Famer in Mike Evans. And I look at the rankings right now on NFL.com for you, Bucky, the slot wide receiver position. You had him ranked 4th.
Yeah, I had him ranked 4th. And the thing about him is, and I've learned this from Green Bay, you always like the guys who have punt return ability. He has big-time punt return ability, and what that tells you is he's going to be terrific with the ball in his hands when it comes to run after catch. When you watch him, I know people talk about the number of drops that he has, but he makes some tough, courageous catches over the middle of the field. But this is the part that we talk about in the return game, being able to take it the distance. Those things translate because when you get the ball on those intermediate routes, when he catches the ball over the middle of the field, he's going to make you miss. Nice pick for them, and think about how they're trying to build out their receiver core. They weren't looking for a number one. They're looking for a piece of the puzzle that they can use in the slot to make life easier for the quarterback.
Yeah, he is a great separator. Like, he is so sudden out of his breaks. And I think this is, I don't know if Shedeur is going to be the quarterback of the future or not. I know that if he wins that battle against Deshaun Watson, or if Deshaun Watson wins it, either way, they're going to have a guy who gets open underneath. So what I like about KC Concepcion is he's got quick win ability with his ability to get in and out of breaks quickly and uncover quickly. And then, as Bucky mentioned, the yards after catch, the wiggle to elude first tackler and make a big play. The punt return is an added value. The catch success is a little up and down, but it was worse the year before at NC State.
With the 25th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Dillon Thieneman, defensive back, Oregon.
All right, there was some buzz here. And once again, a lot of our mocks on NFL.com had Thieneman going in the first round, a variety of teams that he could have landed. But Lance, the fit here for Chicago. You had it here on 3.0, so to you, this probably makes a whole lot of sense.
Well, I really liked it because what he allows you to do. See, I didn't, in mock 4.0, I thought he would probably be gone. But here's the thing. He actually makes great sense for Dennis Allen's defense because he likes to change the pictures after the snap. And that's something Dillon Thieneman can really do. Like, he can line up near the line of scrimmage. He can line up in the post as a single high. This is part of his, he's got this range to get over the top and take it away. He can play near the line of scrimmage. He truly is a player that you can really move around, not only pre-snap, but post-snap as well. He's got takeaway talent, 6 interceptions in Purdue the year before he came to Oregon. And, he's a solid run defender. I think he's, I wouldn't call him a plus run defender, but he's not going to hurt you as a run defender either. So what I like about a Buck is that you can move him all over the field, but what you're going to get is an instinctive playmaking type of player.
Yeah, you can get all of that. I have him as I wrote down in my notes, MLB center fielder with the range that he displays. He can track it down in the middle of the field, great nose for the ball, anticipation awareness, ball skills. I thought he was a solid tackler, crafty blitzer. When I talk about the triangle, I am talking about being able to play deep middle, in the box, and in the slot. He is unique because he can do all of those things really well. And as more teams are utilizing these nickel, big safety defenses, he has some versatility to move around in Dennis Allen's defense.
With the 26th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Keelin Rutledge, guard, Georgia Tech.
You said he's a dog.
Dirt dog. Okay. So, D'Amico Ryan's whole thing is swarm. And what he likes guys that are just nasty and tough. And Will Anderson, Kamari Lasker, think of that. This is the biggest bully on the block in the whole offensive line group for the entire year. Keelin Rutledge. It's finish after finish after finish. He won't win every fight, but he's going to be in it. And you put him in the phone booth, and one of you is going to come out bruised and scraped, and it's usually going to be the other guy. And like I said, it's not always pretty with Keelin Rutledge, but this is what you get every time. So clearly, Keelin Rutledge is one of these players that fit that swarm tough mentality. You've now added Braden Smith, who's a rugged run blocker. Keelin Rutledge, who is a run blocker that can play left guard for him. They're still on the lookout for a center. They got Wyatt Teller that they added in the offseason. This entire offseason has been about establishing the run and physicality and doing that to make C.J. Stroud's job easier.
Lance talked about it. Bully ball specialist in my notes. Pulling kick monster. He nails edge defenders on the thing. You talk about D'Amico Ryan's wanting to upgrade what they have at the point of attack. A much rougher and tougher offensive line.
With the 27th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Chris Johnson, defensive back, San Diego State.
All right, so this is a Mountain West Co-Defensive Player of the Year. It's a G5 player getting taken in the first round at the corner position.
Man, I love that comparison, Tre'Davious White, because that's what I had in my notes. When you watch him play, he is solid in every aspect of his game. Whether it's man-to-man, zone coverage, on, off, he does all those things very, very well. The ball skills are there. You can see him make plays on it time and time again. The one thing that you love from your corners is they have to be able to tackle now in space. Can you get people down one-on-one? He's very competitive at the Senior Bowl when you looked at the clips. All of those things you like. The question that you had, recovery speed, because there were a bunch of times in the game you see him chasing guys down from behind, knocking it in. The ball's unthrown, he make plays. He seemingly answered that with his combine performance, but it shows up on tape that guys initially run past him. Can he fix that little technical flaw in his coverage skill?
Yeah, he's got some Byron Murphy to me and the way he can just shadow routes underneath. And this is what Bucky's talking about right here. The ball's underthrown. I don't know that he plays as fast vertically as he tested, but I do know this. It's hard to find another cornerback. He's kind of low cut, which means that he's able to change direction really quickly. He follows those. He's as good as anybody in the draft other than Mansour Delane at following those comeback routes, those curls. He can really shadow them. He does a good job with route anticipation, and he's just a very natural, instinctive corner, just consistent snap after snap after snap. Good pick for the Miami Dolphins, who have just a variety of needs, but cornerback was one of them.
With the 28th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Caleb Lomu, tackle, Utah.
So it's another bully from Salt Lake City that hears his name called. Fano was the first one. Lomu now the second Utah player that's taken in round number 1. One of you guys just name checked him.
Oh, look, man, I'm going to say this. I'm the high guy on him. I've known it the entire time. I thought he was a natural left tackle prospect, nimble, quick feet, balanced body control, all the things that you want to see in pass protection. He excelled at. The issue that you have would be him in the run game. Is he solid enough to move people off the ball? In pass pro, there's no question. He is square. He can shadow box and dance. You talk about easy to redirect. He's dancing bear at the point of attack. He does all of those things that you want to see well. In space, he can move. Athletic. He gets on you. He's sticky. The thing that he's not is what some of those other guys are in terms of moving the furniture.
Yeah.
He doesn't move the furniture. He and the furniture just kind of stalemated. But a really good player. But this leads to more questions than answers in New England.
Oh, I got answers.
We took Will Campbell last year at 4.
I've got answers. We got a new left tackle. I've got answers. Caleb Lomu is a new left tackle, and Will Campbell's going to go to the right side or maybe down the guard. I mean, look, here's the thing. Caleb Lomu still needs more time. He's still very young. He needs more seasoning. He might start the season as a swing tackle. But when it's done, when it's said and done, the short arm left tackle is going to give way to the more natural, true left tackle, Caleb Lomu.
It's in your scatter report.
It's in your scatter report. It's in my scatter report. He's a natural left tackle with great feet. He's a natural pass protector. This is where he shines.
Yeah.
And,
With the 29th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Peter Woods, defensive tackle, Clemson.
Buck, mock draft 4.0. Did you buck this one? Was this right for you? In this range? I know obviously you didn't have to trade, but
I can't remember. We had so many. I know I had him up there at one point. To me, when I think about Peter Woods, I think about Christian Wilkins in terms of how athletic he is at the point of attack. He is slippery, finds a way to consistently create penetration at the point of attack. You see the athleticism, the way he bounces outside and tracks runners down. He has all of those things. He is a talented guy. And if you go back and look at the film from last year, you'll be more excited about him than what you saw this year. That said, that talent, that athleticism is there. It's about putting him in the right system with the right coach, and maybe you can maximize it. But there's no doubt to me that he was going to be a top 20, 30 pick, and so we see it now.
Oh, color coordinated.
Ooh, what? Meet me at the altar. You're right.
That is the way to do it. The Woods family bringing it. Lance, as far as what he does on the football field, I was going through one of your reports, and for Peter Woods, I thought it was interesting. You said what he did in 2024 might be a better representation of the upside that he brings to now this Kansas City team.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, he's got a really good first step quickness. He lost a little weight to be quicker, and I think it hurt him at the point of attack. He was moved around a little more easily, but he's got a chance. He's a little bit short arm, but when he's heavier, I think he's better at the point of attack, a little bit more stout.
With the 30th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver, Indiana.
So a little more help for Gang Green on the offensive side. Cooper projected to be sort of the 4th or the 5th wide receiver, at least coming into the day. Going in the first round, first Indiana wide receiver drafted in round number 1 since Thomas Lewis back in 1994. The hits keep coming for the Hoosiers.
Yeah, the hits keep coming, and this is right around the range for Omar Cooper. And when you look at him, he's an interesting player because he's a playmaker on the perimeter. He played in the slot, but can bounce outside. You see the physicality and toughness because he's so competitive with the ball in his hands. And when you're the New York Jets, you begin to think about how you're assembling this wide receiver core. You're going to get Kenyan Sadiq to control the middle. You use Omar Cooper in the middle. You have Garrett Wilson on the outside. You have now made it a very quarterback-friendly offense because you can attack the middle of the field and you can do it with a variety of different players who can get to various levels. So I do like this pick for the Jets.
He's a different type. This catch was the catch of the year against Penn State. But he, with the ball in his hands, he's a lot like Deebo Samuel. Like in terms of the power in his lower body, the ability to break tackles, add yards after catch. You can see just really thick, strong lower body that allows him to take the short throw and turn it into extra yardage. But he's also a third-level wide receiver. He's got legitimate 4.4 speed, and there's some deep ball potential that is a little bit untapped in that Indiana offense. He's not really a second-level player. He's not a great route runner. It's something that needs work, and his contested catch percentage needs to rise a little bit. But he's got the ability on the first level and the third level to be an interesting player because he can get you a home run catch, I think, in the NFL vertically, and that's why I think he has some outside. Bucky mentioned inside, outside.
Pittsburgh, before the Titans pick, congratulations, you set a record for the first night of the draft, 320,000 people here tonight. Congratulations, Pittsburgh. Awesome. With the 31st pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Kendrick Faulk, defensive end, Auburn.
So we thought there was the possibility that the Tennessee Titans, with the 4th overall pick, might go edge. They trade back into this first round to get an opportunity to take Faulk.
Good job there from the general manager as well. Kendrick Faulk, I'm interested to see what you think of him, Buck. I have not heard, because this is a player who, I know DJ really harped on his lack of production, and I totally get it. Not the most productive player, but when I see his body type, I see, look, Eric Armstead was much bigger. DeForest Buckner was a little bit bigger. A guy like Danico Autry, who I just saw with the Texans, has this similar body type. I think he's going to be 290 pounds. I think I believe his frame can carry a lot more weight. I know sources I had at Auburn say, look, he's just scratching the surface on how big and physically imposing he's going to get. I think this pick pays off in 2 or 3 years, more than just right away.
Yeah, Lance, this is exactly where I had him graded. I had him graded right at the borderline of the 1st or 2nd round. Dynamic athlete, explosive, but not skilled. Great motor, plays hard, but just unskilled in terms of how he plays. To me, he has some developmental potential, and you have to understand it, but it starts with the stance. But what you can't deny, 6'6", 285, long arms, very active when it comes to it. And if we just talk about being in the development business, good defensive line coach is going to find a way to use him.
Yes.
And what I liked about him, he reminded me of a big 5 technique, an old school 4-3 base end. He has some stuff where you look at his disruptive potential against the run.
Yeah.
The pass production will come, but against the run, this dude is head.
What's going on in Pittsburgh? Yeah! I'm so excited to be here to represent the 12s. Oh, and the reigning Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks! And with that, with the 32nd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Jadarian Price, Notre Dame, running back.
First of all, Dillon, well done. Love the passion. And then we're talking about a running back. Look, Mock Draft Lab, we've done it for a couple months now. In the majority of the drafts, had Fernando Mendoza 1 and had Price at number 32. It just makes sense.
Majority. A majority. It just makes sense. Look, Jadarian Price is a really nice running back. He is very natural. I talk about his feel for the contours of the running lane. He can feel run lanes develop. And watch this right here. Watch how slippery he gives you the little cha-cha, the little 1-2-1-2, and has good lateral elusiveness. He's got nice, easy hips. He can take the ball in space and make more yards. He can create for himself with his vision and elusiveness. And then he's got the ability on kick returns. Like, he is a dynamic kick returner. And I don't think, Bucky, coming in with I don't think I'd have him returning kicks personally as a rookie, based on the fact that we're really going to need him this year. But this is a part of the game that we don't see much, because Jeremiah Love got all the catches, but Jadarian Price got a little ability out of the backfield as well.
Yeah, he has some wiggle. He has some shaking back. You see 2 big kick returns in his pass where he just goes to distance. You see him run through tackles. When he has the ball in spot duty, you can tell he has some of that ability. When I watch the tape, he reminds me a lot of Josh Jacobs. And we saw Josh Jacobs at Alabama kind of have to do this thing where he was a bit of a role player at Alabama. Then he burst on the scene in the National Football League and becomes a leading rusher. We'll see if Jadarian Price can do that. But the Seattle Seahawks needed a physical running back, and they got one in Price.
There was a lot of themes heading into this year's draft. Number one, it was at quarterback, it was Fernando Mendoza and then everyone else. What we were proved wrong a little bit, because the Los Angeles Rams at 13 decided to go and take Ty Simpson, right? So that's one. Number 2, tight ends, there was just one that we would see in the first round. That's exactly what happened with Kenyan Sadiq, who's now rocking another green uniform with the Jets. I'll throw running back into that mix as well, because it was Price and clearly Jeremiah Love, the 2 guys from Notre Dame. I'm looking, Buck, at your rankings on NFL.com position-wise. Your 3rd ranked running back is Emmett Johnson. I'm just curious, the gap between Price and Johnson, where do you think we're talking about? And it doesn't have to be Johnson. You got Jonah Coleman ranked 4th, but like the point is,
initially, I'll say this. Initially, I had Emmett Johnson ranked ahead of Price, and the combine certainly impacted that. That's the only thing that would do it, because when I look at Emmett Johnson as a runner, man, he is a dominant playmaker for Nebraska. Price, role player, you wonder, how's he going to handle a heavy workload? How does that go into them? So that's still to be determined, but we'll see.
Is that it?